Health Agent with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service here in Hidalgo County. Thank you for joining us for our virtual Dinner Tonight Healthy Cooking School. It's finally Friday, and today we're making a rustic vegetable pizza. First, we're going to make sure to wash our hands and clean and sanitize all of our food prep surfaces. What's really fun about making this pizza is that you are in control of what goes in it and what goes on top of it. That's very important in decreasing some of the unhealthier fats and sodium that could be in your food. For our rustic vegetable pizza, we're going to break this recipe down into 3 separate parts. First, we're going to concentrate on making our pizza dough. Then we're going to concentrate on making the pesto to go on top of our pizza, and then we're going to assemble it and bring it all together. So to begin our pizza dough, we're first going to combine the flour and the salt in the mixer. So now we just want to stir to combine the flour and the salt. For our wet ingredients, we want to start with some warm water, yeast, and olive oil. When working with yeast, it's very important to start with warm water, not hot water, because the hot water will kill the active yeast ingredients. So first what we want to do is pour in the active yeast and stir it until it's foamy. And so now we're going to stir in the oil. And stir that all together. So now with the motor running on your mixer, we're going to combine our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients. And so we're going to add this until a ball of dough begins to form. Our dough has formed into a ball, and so we are just going to take it out and put it on a floured surface, and we're going to knead it to get it all together for about 1 to 2 minutes. So now that we've kneaded our dough for 1 to 2 minutes, we're going to place that in an oiled bowl. So all we're going to do is put a little bit of olive oil in a bowl, and we're going to coat our bowl with that. And then we're going to place our ball of dough in there, and we're going to get our ball of dough coated with the olive oil around the bowl. So now that our ball of dough is fully coated in the olive oil, we're going to cover it and let it rise in a warm place for an hour. So while our dough is resting, we are going to get started on our basil pesto, which is deceivingly easy to make, and it keeps you from buying things in the store. The other great thing about this pesto is it uses a lot of basil, which is very abundant in the summer. So here we have all the ingredients for our pesto. We have our Parmesan cheese, our olive oil, our pine nuts, and our basil. And then we have our garlic here, garlic cloves. So an easy way to peel garlic is just to set your knife on top of the clove, take out some anger there, and it comes right out of the peel. So I'm gonna do that for 2 cloves of garlic. Our basil pesto. One great tip that I like to do for garlic is not just to mince it or cut it, but actually grate it. So that helps you avoid some big chunks of garlic and will help you not ruin your date. So I'm gonna grate my garlic right into the food processor before I add all my other ingredients. You just wanna watch your fingers with this kitchen tool. And now we have all of our garlic. Fresh herbs are really easy to work with. They add a lot of flavor without adding the calories. So basil is a great herb to do that because it has very big leaves, it's very fragrant and flavorful. And so we have some basil here, so I'm just going to pull off our bigger leaves. The easiest way to chop fresh herbs with big leaves are just to stack them and roll them all together. And then we're just gonna give them a rough chop, considering our food processor is gonna do most of the work for us. So now we're going to add our chopped basil and our pine nuts to our food processor, and we're gonna process. So we wanna achieve a smooth paste for our pesto, so with the motor running, we're gonna add in our 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Consistency, we are going to just add in our Parmesan cheese, and we're just going to gently fold that into everything else. So this is just a consistency that we want. So while pesto is great to buy at the store, it is much healthier if we make it ourselves. So all you need to do is put your made pesto in a jar and it'll keep in the refrigerator. While our dough is still resting and our pesto is done, we're gonna prep all of our veggies for our pizza toppings. Mushrooms. So we have some really pretty baby portobello mushrooms here. And so when we clean mushrooms, we don't want to run them under running water to clean them. That's gonna make them tough or mushy. So what we wanna do is just get a damp paper towel, and we wanna clean off the tops as best we can. So as I'm still cleaning these mushrooms off here, what we're gonna do with them is just do a rough slice so that they look nice and pretty on our baking sheet and on our pizza. So now that our mushrooms are all cleaned, we are going to slice them ever so gently, and we're gonna spread those out on our baking sheet. now we're just gonna move our mushrooms onto our baking pan in a shallow layer so that all of them roast evenly. And I like a lot of mushrooms, so what's really great about this recipe is you can really tailor it to your family's liking, and you can try it with different vegetables. So now that we got our mushrooms, we're gonna move on to our zucchini. So we're gonna cut our zucchini into matchsticks. And zucchinis are a great source of vitamin C, and a lot of those vitamins are in the seeds or in the skin. So you can leave that peeling on, you don't want to get rid of those. So to cut it into matchsticks, we're going to just cut it lengthwise. So now that I've got my zucchini cut into matchsticks, I'm going to lay them evenly on our baking sheet. Bell pepper, and we're going to cut that into matchsticks to top our pizza. So I find that the easiest way to cut a bell pepper is to slice it down the middle and get your hands dirty in there and pull out all this ribbing and the seeds. So bell peppers are also rich in vitamin C that can help boost your immune system and fiber to aid in digestion. So we're just slicing this bell pepper up, and we're going to add that to our baking sheet. Vegetables in a 425-degree oven for 20 minutes or until they start to brown. Now that our dough has rested, we're going to stretch it over our pizza stone. So we're using this pizza stone. I just brushed it with a little bit of olive oil to prevent sticking. So now we're just going to stretch our dough over the size of the pan that we have. So we will get that out of our oiled bowl. So now we're just going to gently stretch our dough to fit the size of pizza that we want. So now we're just trying to stretch out our dough to fit on our pizza pan. So depending on what type of pan you're using, you might need to oil it or use some nonstick spray, or in this case, we use some flour to prevent our sticking. So now we're just working the dough with our fingers to spread it out on our pizza pan in the shape that we like. We're going to spread our pesto on our dough. Okay, so now we're just working on spreading our pesto around. You don't have to worry about it being any type of saucy consistency. It has tons of flavor there, so the best that you can get it so that everybody gets a bite is just fine. So now that we've got our veggies out of the oven, we're gonna place them on our pizza and put it back in the oven. So now that we have our vegetables set, we're gonna take our 2/3 cup of mozzarella cheese and sprinkle it over the top. And now our pizza is ready to go in a 500-degree oven for 12 to 14 minutes. Okay, so it's been 12 to 14 minutes depending on your oven. And I don't know about you guys, but but our rustic vegetable pizza is out and it looks delicious. So I hope you enjoyed making this rustic vegetable pizza, and I hope you enjoyed our whole week of our trip to the Mediterranean with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service Dinner Tonight Healthy Cooking School.